Friends, denizens of the internet, hello and welcome to a brand new series over here at Lost Time Gaming. Today we got something a little special. By a little, I mean, I can't believe this exists. Today we are starting the Silent Hill 2 remake. Now, this game has a lot of, real estate in my memory as far as old school horror titles and just just the youth gaming in general. This really takes me back. And if you're wondering, did this game have any kind of intro or anything like that? No. This game starts up directly in the bathroom. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, and you've never played Silent Hill 2 or seen a playthrough of Silent Hill 2, the game starts off at a bathroom. Now, I believe the original run of Silent Hill 2 had kind of a musical intro in the same vein that I think Silent Hill 1 did, where it kind of shows little clips of the game and stuff, as games often did back in the early disc-based era. But we don't get that here. The game just boots up into this. Now, the game did boot up with a mental health warning. This game has a lot of strong topics and a lot of bad vibes. And on a personal note, this is one of two games that I've played this year where I've actually felt myself looking at, our main character is James in this game, looking at the main character and be like, I have some similarities with that, and that's not good. The other one being Hellblade 2, which we'll get to at some point. And this game's made by Bloober Team, which, if you've never heard of Bloober Team, they make a lot of horror. It's usually first-person kind of walking simulator horror, Layers of Fear. There's the Observer game. Basically, Bloober Team has done a lot of games that I've wanted to do on the channel, we just haven't gotten to yet. It seems kind of strange that we're starting off with Silent Hill 2. But I have played this a little bit. You'll notice probably at some point that I have save files for this. And I was going to wait until I finished my playthrough before I did it for the channel. But we have a new series. According to the YouTube studio, this is the fifth year anniversary, more or less, of the channel. So I figured, why not do something big Willy style? I was going to do Alan Wake 2, but I find Silent Hill 2 far more interesting, at least as far as a memory, kind of an echo to the past sort of deal. I've rambled on enough about this. I have the volume way cranked up because it seems like the volume's kind of quiet. Silent Hill 2 is a game that does not have loading screens. So you'll notice the game kind of will drop frames at certain points when we're like opening a door or going up a flight of steps. There's nothing I can really do about that. The game will run with ray tracing. I couldn't do that with Alan Wake 2. So hopefully this will run smoothly at the 30 FPS I'm recording it at, and it should be no big deal. Apart from that, I'm going to shut the heck up and let's just get into this. Yes, standard, custom, graphic mode, good. Oh yeah, we can switch it to it looks like garbage like it did on the PS2. We're not doing that.
Could you really be in this town?
restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday. But you never did. Well, I'm alone there now. In our special place. Waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Could Mary really be here? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
The music just kind of fades out there, and it's very unsettling. Not to mention the fact that it's all going to be unsettling. It's Silent Hill 2. It's all bad. Now, I believe, as it was in the beginning, the only thing for us to find here is stuff in the car. Stuff in the car. Oh yeah. Collected map of South Vale. That's a one heck of a map we got there. Now, much like the Resident Evil 4 remake, this game is both the same but different as its predecessor. It's got a lot of similarities. It's got a handful of things that are completely different than they were back in the original, but it kind of stays true to the game on its own right, while doing slightly new things. I mean, obviously, some things have to play out differently just because the camera, this is third person over the shoulder, whereas original Silent Hill 2 had fixed camera angles, and you could do a lot more arty, specific shots for specific rooms, just to mess with the player because you had complete control over the camera. Now the player has control over the camera, so you kind of have to follow that style of gameplay with how you're going to do your thematic settings and all that jazz. Now, one of the things I did find out playing this game is that James looks much like a regular person in this game than he did in the PS2 version. Now, that's probably due to, graphical fidelity and such, but it's just there's something so uncanny about playing this game, and it terrifies me on a deep level. When I was playing through this myself, there were many spots where I couldn't really play this game for more than 15-20 minutes at a clip because of the level of anxiety it was giving me. There were so many points where you just hear things at the edge of your hearing, and then you look and there's nothing there, and you go, oh, okay, cool. There are entire sections of the game that are bathed in total darkness, and the only thing you have to light your way is James's little pocket flashlight, which is not very useful. There's just things that they do in this game with darkness and ambiance that are just on point, and I love every second of it. Now, not everything is perfect, but the gripes that I've had playing many hours in this game already are very minimal. That behind me? What was that? There's a mountain lion? Oh, there's a mountain lion. and kind of like playing the Resident Evil 4 remake and some of the other games that have been modernized, like kind of I wrote a review for this game on my Steam account. One of the things I wrote is like it's almost like the Final Fantasy VII remake in the fact that, you know, my brain struggles to process it correctly. It's almost like a dream because, you know, it is Silent Hill 2, but it is not Silent Hill 2. The controls and the camera angles of original Silent Hill 2 were what made it, you know, uniquely scary, and the Bloober team does a great job transferring that into a modern age. Oh, that's probably fine. Just a red square floating in a viscous liquid. Oh, that's not fine though. James just staring at it. Alright, so we're gonna make a new game here. Just ignore those other saves, like I said. Oh.
It's like someone's groping around my skull.
Yes, it's my computer, James. It's pretty unpleasant, isn't it? Yeah, I like that they kind of point out the weirdness of the save states. You know, it's just like, oh, it's in my brain. I don't think they did that in the original run of games. I think in Silent Hill 4, I can remember the protagonist talking about how it feels odd to stare at the piece of paper, but I don't recall that in the other ones. And I'm not really just running through this. Oh.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I was just...
Hey, it's okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
Yeah, I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But... I think you should stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it. And it's not just the fog, either.
Is it dangerous?
Maybe. It's kind of hard to explain, but...
I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I don't really care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going either way.
But why?
I'm looking for... someone. Someone very important to me.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean, my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry, it's not your problem.
No, I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
Alright. So that's probably the last good interaction we're going to have with somebody for a while. One of the things I do like about the remake is that they've kind of rewritten the dialogue to be a lot more human when you're talking to the people, and a lot less strange. It's still strange to be sure, but it's not as strange as it used to be.
Did you want anything else?
No, it's just... this fog. Does it seem unsettling to you?
I guess.
Okay. That's great. Good. Is this the way we came in? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, and I'm trying to not just power run through all this because, again, one of the big things that Bloober Team did with this Remake is really just drenched the whole town of Silent Hill in thick ambiance. And I'm not just talking about the fog. At some point, pretty much more towards like the halfway point of the game, we'll find ourselves just kind of sprinting through everything. But in the beginning part of the game, there's something to be said about taking our time and enjoying the visuals. Just kind of drinking it in. Because one of the things you're going to notice is that the intro doesn't really play out like it did in the original game. That bit back there did with what's her name? I can't remember her name. That kind of plays out the same, but apart from that, we do have a kind of differently realized introduction section here. And I kind of did this when I played through the first time as well. I just kind of slow walked it through, because again, it's uncanny, you know, to see something like this after playing the original so many years ago. I think it was like 2002, maybe even 2000, I want to say. You know, that was 24 years ago. I was a totally different person then. So to play this now, you know, with the beautiful graphics and still have it be able to give you the same level of scares is really, really something else. The unsettling corn noises. Well, it's on the list of things I didn't know I was scared of, but now I am. Unsettling corn noises. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's just corn. We're fine. There's a fun addition to the gameplay elements in this game as well that we'll be able to access once we're armed. That it just makes me giggle every time you can do it, and it's almost like a balance, because the game is inherently unpleasant, anxiety-inducing, and just, you know, nerve-wracking. But the element I'm speaking of is like almost like a comedic relief, which is great, because, you know, with any game that's trying to scare you, there has to be a give and take. You can't just be scary all the time. Otherwise, you're basically running like a haunted house, like a jump scare simulator. And that can kind of burn itself out quite quickly. Things seems normal here. This definitely is very similar to the area that Silent Hill was based on, the Centralia area in Pennsylvania. I've visited before. I believe I've spoken about too on occasion. That's just, it's kind of wooded. There isn't this much level of fog in Centralia. The ground does smoke, and there is areas where literally it just looks like the ground is like on fire, even though there's no fire to be had. But they do a very good job of kind of, the area it's in is kind of a wooded, hilly area. And there's something always unsettling about just abandoned industrial equipment. If you've ever tried to pick up something that was solid metal and heavy and realized that, you know, not only was your strength not be good enough, but 3 or 4 of your strength would not be good enough. It gives you the kind of the weight behind just machinery and equipment that's just, it's almost like a static energy. It's weight being, you know, thrown around, kind of like an Alan Wake, where they use the darkness to manipulate objects and such. The best auto parts. Oh, good. We don't have to handle for anything second rate here. Went to town to get the window fixed. Spare keys in the drawer. Okay. So this is locked then? Yep. One of the minor gripes I have with this game is you don't open doors. Like, you don't you press a button to open door, you just run into it. If it's open, he'll open it. Now it
Hello? Anyone in here?
I don't know. Let's hop in through the window and find out, James. Now, it sounds straightforward, but it can make for some awkward animation points, which won't really come to light till later on, but you'll know when you see it. There's that drawer. There's that key. Let's zoom in. Auto service and tires. Ah, yeah. Auto parts key. Stick that in my pocket. See our new inventory section here. Mary's letter, of course. The maps. Nothing else in here? No. There was an openable locker, but nothing in it. How about in the car? Anything in the car? No. Okay. I'm confused. Did we just get the key for the building we were just in? How does that work? Oh no, we got this key. Duh. Can I hop this fence? No. I can almost smell the mud. Alright, nothing over here. Now, I believe this would be where the original game gets interesting. But I don't think that's what happens here. You kind of go on. Just bypass that. If I'm remembering correctly. Anyway, it's been a long time since I played the original, and I didn't want to go through the original on the original playthrough I did on the channel and kind of like, you know, spitball off of that. I wanted this to kind of be its own thing, so if there is things that I'm not remembering correctly about the original run through we did, well, that's just gonna happen. I do love the fog effects in this game are excellent though. I mean, so was the originals for the time in which it was created, but with modern graphics, it's like, oh, that's oppressive, depressing fog. Kinda like the soundtrack. Nothing here but walkway. Let's just get a little boogie on. Only so much ambiance we can drink in here. Lovely. Corn. One of the things I really enjoyed this game does later on, once we're kind of in the town, the fog almost starts to take on the characteristics of like what you would see in real life in kind of a foggy, spooky area. You'd be kind of half seeing things out of the corner of your eye and like constantly stopping to check like what was that. Really just great stuff. And I know I'm kind of rambling on about how good this game is, but I'll be honest with you, I've played quite a few reboots and remakes of old school games, and you know, I like to lavish praise on them when they're good. You know, you could crap on them when they're bad, but when they're good, you gotta call it as it is. Now the combat's another thing. We'll get to that at some point, and that's obviously going to be different than what it was in the PS2, but I think it's okay. I've had no problems with it. In fact, there's a couple of tweaks to it that make it really interesting and scary and anxiety inducing. So it's no trespassers. Visitors must register at main office. Okay. No parking there. Not that way. City map? Oh yeah. Map of the east side of South Vale. Well, we're screwed now. We're in town. It's not good. One of the things I always loved about the Silent Hill games is once you kind of get into Silent Hill proper, the game's like, well, here you go. So, good luck. Even though the last thing you want to do is be running around Silent Hill. Ugh. This open? The old... Yeah! Nice. Something tells me this flower shop has seen better days. Wow, can I read that without hitting the button? Miss Cassandra, a customer came in today, ordered a mixed bouquet, red and white. I tried to explain it's bad luck, but he couldn't decide on just one. Seemed a bit off, looked at me like I wasn't even there. Then he just left, said he'd be back to pick him up later. I just wanted to let you know, since I might be gone by then. Ah, creepy guys at the flower store. That whole horror trope. Wait a second. Never mind. One of the things I really enjoy about modern games is like vegetation has really come a long way from the flat polygons that it used to be. I mean, they're still kind of the same deal, but oh, that's not good.
What is this?
I'm sure it's just reddish potting soil, James. Nothing to get excited about. That's probably a good sign. Windows busted open. Anything back here? Nope. Okay. Oh, I thought that was a door. It is not. We heading the right way? I guess. Oh, yeah. One of the things I did read about this game, and we're going to take a jog over there, over to the other, the obvious not way to go section of the map. One of the things I did read about this game is that there's also a new ending to achieve in this game. This was the game where you don't look at the knife because it increases your chances of getting a bad ending. But I looked into it and there's actually like a whole heap of there's like a mathematical formula to making sure you get, you know, X, Y, or Z ending. And there's a whole bunch of them. And one of the things that I've noticed is there's kind of fragments in this game that kind of showcase what the original Silent Hill 2 did. Kind of like a memory, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And I think that's key to making sure we get the better endings. Now, I say good and bad, they're all endings, it's just, you know, I say good and bad in relative to how it affects our protagonist, I guess. One thing I am concerned with, because I haven't beaten the game yet, is when the PS2 did a Silent Hill HD collection with 1, 2, and 3, or maybe it was just 2 and 3 now that I think about it, they added an extra ending that you couldn't get until you beat the game once. So I'm hoping that's not the way it is here, because I haven't beaten the game yet. That's kind of partially the reason why I was playing it first to begin with. Wait, what is that? Can you hear that? Oh man, that's just all the cloth like fluttering on this wall. Ugh, creepy. So hopefully we can just have be dirty lucky and trick shot getting the best ending in the game the first time through. Now I say best ending, but this is also a remake of a game that had an ending where a dog was controlling the entire world, and it broke James mentally when he found out about it. Gonzalez, a Mexican restaurant. What does that say? Mexican food, chili sauce, tacos. Well, I mean, gotta hit them selling points I get. I know it said closed, but you never know. So we kind of have to be thorough as we're walking around town just to not miss stuff. And I'm pretty sure I've said that in basically every Silent Hill. But it's kind of more true to life here. That's a drug hotline. Okay. Because, as I mentioned, there's more than just a couple of factors as to how to get the better endings. We want to make sure that we're not missing stuff just by powering through to the next sections of the game. You over here and see what this building is. And that's going to kind of slow down the playthrough, and you know, that's fine. I'm not looking to speedrun this or anything along those lines. In fact, I'm kind of I'm not a big fan of speedrunning games. I think it's kind of the antithesis of what, you know, games are all about. But you know, a lot of games these days are kind of bite-sized, fun-sized pieces that you're supposed to just kind of enjoy in small increments. So it kind of makes sense. But something like the Final Fantasy VII remake or the Resident Evil 4 remake, I like to take my time and enjoy them. So hopefully that's what you're here for, because that's what's going to happen. You're here for a quick walkthrough just to find a solution to X, Y, or Z. That's probably not going to happen.
Hey, wait.
Yeah, chase that thing down, James. I'm sure that's fine.
More of that stuff.
Yeah, it's stuff, James. It's stuff. Okay, yeah, sure. Now the problem with the cutscenes in this game, because they're kind of usually softened by like fog or like a whiteout, can be really easy to lose our sense of direction here. We kind of make sure we're not getting circled around or spun around a different direction. Because it can be very easy to get disoriented in Silent Hill. If you've ever played any of the games at any length, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, James, let's follow the gurgling noises and the stuff trail into the dark alley. I'm sure that's fine. I do really want to commend the Bloober team on their use of like trash and stuff to world build these sections. A lot of games don't put a lot of thought into putting random debris into an area to make it look lived in, and I feel like they've really gone the extra effort here. And I'm not just talking just because I'm nervous and I don't want to have to deal with what's coming up. You're nervous. I'm sure that monster like growling off in the background's fine. Yeah, that's no big deal.
Hello?
Look how James says hello. Like, what did you think was going to happen there, James? He's going to stop and be like, oh, good day, sir. What can I do you for? Look around to find objects marked by white cloth. Those are objects or traversals you can interact with. One of the new things the game, as I mentioned before, had to do to kind of get around the fixed camera angle theming. Yeah, that's fine. Just crawl in there. Who cares about splinters anyway? Okay. That's great. Shimmy through this hole in the wall. Alright. It's like old times. And just like old times, that's going to be all the time I have for this episode today. Thank you everybody so much for joining me on another exciting look into the world of Silent Hill 2 Remake. I'm Devo, LostTimeGaming. If you enjoyed the video today, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, and get subscribed. Let me know down in the comment section below what's about my gameplay, my commentary, or anything else in general. Hopefully you come back to check out more episodes of this as the weeks go on, because this game is awesome, and I can't wait to show it to you all. That being said, thanks for watching, and as usual, I'll catch you all on the flip side.